Good morning, everybody. This is Kendra, and I'm coming to you live this morning from my sewing room. And we are live for our March Embroidery Club project called Somebody Loves You. Super cute little project. There's a little bit of a glare from my light. So I'll just wait just a minute for some people to jump on. So once you jump on, if you're here, make sure you say hello. I see a couple people are jumping on, so make sure you say hello. Let me know that you are watching, and let me know where you're watching from, because our embroidery club has grown and we have friends from all across the map that are joining us. So this video is, or this live is being recorded, so that way you can come back and watch again here on our Facebook page, and you can also find us on our YouTube channel where all these videos will also live, so you can go back and rewatch there. So everybody's jumping on. So again, we are here for our March Embroidery Club, which is Somebody Loves You. It's a Smith Street Designs project, which I'm super excited about because my very first embroidery applique project that I ever did was a Smith Street Designs pattern. So I love these ones. So I'm super excited. So this is our project, and this is what it looks like. You may have seen it hanging in the shop or seen them post it on our live, the Wednesday lives with Marsha and Joy. So you can see that there is embroidery with the eggs, there's embroidery with the bunnies, and there's embroidery with the tulips. So the process is the same for all three of the embroidery pieces on here. So I'm going to show you, just for time's sake today, how to do the eggs, and then you can repeat the same process for the bunnies and the tulips. So the first thing that you will want to do is pull out your pattern, and in here is all of your instructions, and there's also a disc in here. So we need to take that disc, put it into our computer, and move those designs over onto our USB stick so we can put those designs into our sewing machine, our embroidery machine. So I'll show you how to do that. So you're going to take out your disc, you're going to insert it in the hard drive on your computer. Let me swing this around so you can see my computer. Hang tight 1 second. There it is. Let me just zoom in a little bit so you can see. So I'm going to put this disc into my computer. Okay, so once you put it in, let me see if I can adjust this just a little bit so you can see what's going on here. Once you put it in, the disc into your computer, this little window pops up, and there's a little folder here that says Somebody Loves You, and that's what we want. So then what we want to do is we insert our USB stick, and I have that down here on the bottom. You probably can't see it, but I've inserted my USB stick into the drive on my computer. So now on this side over here, I'm going to scroll down until I see my USB stick, and here it is, and I have it labeled. So this is my USB stick, and all I want to do is, you can select this little box right here next to it, and that selects the line, and then all you have to do is just drag this whole thing, and when you drag it, you can see that this folder pops up, and it shows that you're dragging it, and just drag it right over to your USB stick, and then just drop it in there. When you drop it in there, a window's going to come up, and it's going to show that you're copying over all of the designs. So I've already done this, so I'm just going to cancel this for mine, but you will not cancel yours. Let yours all go across. But like I said, I've already transferred mine to my USB stick, so I'm just going to leave it all there. Once you're done doing that, you can go down here to the bottom of your screen, and let me just adjust so you can see where I'm at. Down here on the bottom, you can kind of see my mouse right here on the bottom. There's this little triangle that's pointing up. And what I want to do is not click on that one. I want to click on the little triangle that's pointing up. And it's going to show me a little picture right here in the middle of a USB stick. And if I click on that, it's going to show eject the U disc, which is my USB stick. And so I just want to go ahead and eject that, and it's going to let me safely remove that USB stick right from my machine. So once it's removed from my machine, I can take it over and I can plug it into my sewing machine. So let me bring you over here to the machine to show you how that works. It's a little crooked. Okay, so there you can see the screen on my sewing machine. So on the very top on my Bernina, I have either a sewing machine or a little picture of a USB stick. So I selected the USB stick, and then I need to figure out which stick is in there. So mine is labeled PNQS Embroidery Club. It's in that project. So I'm going to open that up, and here is my Sun Bunny Loves You. So I'm going to open this up, and EXP is the format that I want for my machine. So I'm going to choose my EXP files. And in here, it shows all of the different files. So you may see that there is 5 bunnies, there's 4 eggs, there's 1 egg with a little chick popping out of it, and then there's 1 full egg, there's 1 bunny, 1 tulip, and then it splits it all down. So this project is split all down because if you do not have the jumbo hoop, you can do this in a smaller hoop, and I'm going to show you how to do all of that and how to mark your background fabrics with all the right measurements so that you can do this in a smaller hoop if you don't have the jumbo hoop. So let's jump over and start doing that. Back you up here just a little bit. Okay. So in your kit, you received a bunch of fabrics in these colorways, right? So if you also purchased the matching thread kit, you have all of the thread colors that you're going to need today. The only color that you don't have in here is a bright orange color for the beak, but you can make that beak any color that you would like. It's just a couple stitches, so I didn't include it in this thread kit, but like I said, you can choose whichever color you would like for the beak of that little chick. But you have enough fabrics for your 3 backgrounds and to make all the blocks to do all the piecing to complete this. The only extra fabric that you're going to need is for your backing and maybe for your binding. Okay, the other thing about our embroidery club that I did not mention is, as you all are aware, we give away a lot of door prizes, right? So we have a lot of door prizes again today. So if you're watching us and this is your first time, I want to just welcome you to our embroidery club and watching it virtually. Or if you have watched us before, you know about the door prizes, and you know that to be registered for the door prizes, you have to have registered for this class. So I'm super excited because this is like our first ever embroidery club where we have sold out. So that does happen, and we've already sold out for next month. So you guys are amazing. You have really made this embroidery club grow, and we're so grateful for that, and we are so excited to be sewing with you every single month. So going forward, you just want to make sure that as soon as we announce the embroidery clubs that you are sure to sign up, so that way you are ensured a spot for not only the door prizes, but to get your kit and to sew along with me. And if you have any questions as I'm going along, just put them in the comments. If I see the question, I'm going to go ahead and answer it. If I don't see your question, because sometimes they go through really quickly, I will go back and answer those at the end of today. And I see that Ellen is asking for the color numbers in the thread kit. So Ellen, as I go through, I will announce what colors we're using, just so that you know, and you can create your own thread kit if you have a lot of threads at home, or if you want to purchase the thread kit, let us know that as well. Okay, so the first thing that you want to do is you want to pull out your fabric that is like this light cream color, and you're going to cut a piece of this backing 7.5 by 16.5. So I've already cut mine 7.5 by 16.5, And then what you're gonna do is you are gonna back this with some Shape Flex. So our fusible woven, so you can see right here is my Shape Flex on there. So this is just a little bit larger than the size that we're gonna need for our project. So it gives you a little bit of an allowance, but you wanna cut your background 7.5 by 16.5 inches. So again, today we're just doing the eggs, but you're gonna also wanna cut your background for your tulips and for your bunnies 7.5 by 16.5 inches. So once you get that all cut, what you're gonna do is you're gonna go ahead and you're gonna mark a line right down the center of your fabric. So this is the 7.5, so I have a line marked all the way down the center of my fabric. And it shows you the markings in your instructions on page 6. So once you get your center marked this way, you're also going to want to mark your center this way. So I have mine marked with a, I just am using a Soline water soluble marking pen. So that way when I'm all done, I can just spritz it and it goes away. So you mark that. So you have your background fabric all marked and ready to go. So the next thing that we want to do is I have already pulled out my jumbo hoop because that's the hoop that I'm going to be using today. And I'm also going to be using some stabilizer. This is an OESD stabilizer. It is a tearaway stabilizer, but on one side it's shiny, like a shiny paper side, and the other side is like a little bit rougher. So this is like a sticker. So we're going to hoop this, we score the top, and we peel it away to reveal the stick. So that's how we are going to hoop our project. So what you want to do is go ahead and just hoop the stabilizer only. So this is the stable stick again. So we're going to hoop that, and I'll move you over here so you can see my hooping area. So I have my master hooper here. I might have to just move this a little bit so you guys can see. But I also have my template, my grid for my hoop. So you will need to have that handy as well. So I'm going to go ahead and hook my hoop, and I like to use the master hooper when I'm hooping. So let me move this down just a little bit so you guys can see. Okay, so you can see that I have my master hooper out. My hoop is all locked on. I'm going to go ahead and open it up, pull the center out, and I'm going to take that piece of the stable stick stabilizer, and I want to hoop it with this shiny paper side up. I'm just going to press the inner hoop in there. And then tighten this down. Once I tighten it down, I can go ahead and remove it from the master hooper. And then I'm just going to take my thumbs and I'm going to press this inner hoop to the back side just a little bit. And what I'm doing is, I think you can see right here, is I'm just creating a little bit of a lip on the back side of my hoop. And I want to make sure that that lip goes all the way around. And what that's doing, it's protecting the bed of my sewing machine. Because during the embroidery from the vibration, that can scratch the bed of your sewing machine. So that's why you want to just have that little lip hanging out down there on the bottom. Okay, I just need to grab a pin real fast. Okay, so here's my hoop. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take a regular straight pin. I'm going to score this paper all the way around the hoop with a big X right through the center. Once you get that scored through there, you can take that pin and just try to lift up just the paper only. And you're just going to peel that right out of your hoop. And this reveals the stickiness that's going to hold our project in place. So if you don't have the jumbo hoop and you have maybe a maxi or a mega, you can do this and get all of your eggs in one hooping in those hoops as well. All right. So here's the extra paper that I ripped off. This is just trash. Okay, so now I have the stickiness is exposed. And now what I want to do is I'm going to take my template, and I just have some masking tape on here for another project. I can remove that. But what I want to do is, because I've marked the center of my fabric, I'm going to find that marking on my fabric, and I want to line it up with the center of my hoop. So I'm just going to line everything up in there, make sure it's all nice and straight. And once I have it where I like it, I can go ahead and just place this right in my hoop. And sometimes it's hard to get it down in the right spot exactly. But like I said, this background is a little bit larger. And we have pinpoint placement on our machines. If you're sewing on a Bernina, you have the pinpoint placement. So you can make sure that you get it nice and straight. And mine shifted a little bit. So you can just lift and adjust if you need to, or we can just take it to the machine and do the pinpoint placement. I'm just trying to get it as straight as I can. And I'm telling you, this is the hardest part of the whole project. Okay, I'm going to say that that is good enough. Now I'm just going to press it in there so it's held down. Now you can see my background fabric is stuck to the stabilizer in there. So if you're doing this on a smaller hoop, you're again going to want to use the Stable Stick stabilizer, and then you're just going to use the markings from the instructions on page 6. So right here is our egg markings, and it tells you to mark the center, and then you'll see these little markings down here on the bottom. So the centers of the eggs are a 1/2 inch lower than the center line. So then you would just mark, you could go over 1 5/8 inches from that center, and then go down a 1/2 inch and mark your center there, and do the same here. And then it's 3 1/4 inches from the center of like your second egg over to the other one, and you can mark your center there. And the same thing for this one. So then you can just stitch out your eggs one at a time to make them fit in your hoop. So I hope that makes sense. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my hoop over to my machine, and I'll bring you over here with me. And what I want to do is I want to go and find the 4 eggs and a chick. And it's going to look like this on your screen. So let me zoom in so you can see that. Okay, so there is, and it's showing the mega hoop. I'm going to switch this to the jumbo hoop. And then I'm just going to go ahead and put my hoop right on my machine. And I have, in my machine for the needle, I have a Schmetz Gold 7511 embroidery needle. In my bobbin, I have the OESD bobbin thread. This is the black color. I actually have white in my bobbin, but it's the OESD bobbin thread. And threaded through the needle is the Isacord, and it's yellow, and this number is 0630. And that's threaded through the needle. Okay, so here's my design. It's all pulled up. I'm just going to go into the little eye. And what I want to do is pull up my pinpoint placement because I just want to make sure that everything is nice and straight. So on here, I don't have anything to choose points from a design because I haven't started stitching anything out yet. I see Celia's asking if she has to adjust anything with the maxi hoop or just do it like I'm doing with the jumbo. So Celia, all you would do is choose the maxi hoop instead of the jumbo, and then you can follow right along and do everything just the same. Okay, so what I want to choose is the little grid above the butterfly. So once I choose that, then I can go in and I can choose the center circle, and my hoop's going to move. And what I want it to do is move so that when I lower my needle, it comes down right on that center marking that I have. So I'm just going to move this just a little bit because it's not exactly in the center. It's close, but not quite. And there I'm in the center. So now I'm going to just hit set. And then I'm going to move to the one on the top. And I want to lower my needle, and it should come down right on that center line. And it's just a hair off, so I'm just going to adjust it over. Adjust it over just a tiny bit further. And again, we don't have to be absolutely perfect because, like I said, this is a little bit oversized, so there's a little bit of grace in there. All right, we're good. So I can hit set, and I'm going to go back because now I'm ready to begin stitching. So now when I start stitching, I'm just going to touch the needle. And the first thing that it is going to stitch out is a placement line for the face of the little chick. So I can go ahead and stitch out that placement line. And yes, my bobbin is in and it's threaded correctly. So I'm going to stitch out that placement line for the face. While that's stitching, I'm just going to grab my yellow fabric. And my yellow fabric is just how it came in the kit. I haven't cut anything down or done anything with like that. So I'm just going to leave it like this. I'm going to go in, and I just need a little tiny spot right out of here. So I can just lay that little corner that I need. I don't have to cut anything, but I can lay that so it completely covers that little placement line for the face. And now I'm going to go ahead and stitch that tack down line. Okay, so now you can see that the yellow is tacked down. So now I'm just going to take my scissors and I'm going to trim all the excess away from the outside. And if you're going to do this with the hoop in your lap, just be careful that you don't push any weight on your hoop because you don't want to knock it out of, knock your project out of the hoop, because then your alignment is going to be off once you've started stitching. So it might be easier for you just to lay it on a flat surface. Okay, so now you can see that that is all trimmed out. So now I can put my hoop back on my machine, and we're just going to stitch out the next little, like the little fuzz around the little chick's face. All right, well, that's stitching out. I'm gonna move you back over here to me. And like I said, we've got a ton of door prizes to give away. Everybody that entered, your name is in this little Easter pail that I have here, so I can draw out. So let's do our first door prize. And the first door prize is going to be for this little Illustrations mini charm pack. So it's some cute little black and white fabrics. And the winner of this is Ann Thill. So congratulations, Ann. We will get this to you. All right. So the next thing, and it's really kind of hard to see, is changing our thread to black because it's going to stitch out the eyes for our little chick. So I have my black thread here, and it's color 0020 is the Isacord black color. And look at how cute those little stars are for the eyes. All right, now we're going to change our thread color to orange, which again, this one was not in the thread pack, but you could do any color that you want just for the little beak on the chick. I'm going to use this orange in its color 1200 from Isacord, so 1200. You can do any color that you would like. We're just gonna stitch out that little beak. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to change my color of the thread that goes through my needle, and I'm changing that to the background color, which is 0781. And what it's going to do, it's going to stitch out the placement lines for our eggs. So everything that you can see, it's kind of hard to see. Let me zoom in a little bit. But everything that's black is what it's going to stitch out here, and I'm just doing it the same color as my background so I can just see a little outline. it's just stitching out those outlines for all of our eggs. Yes, and I am still using a white bobbin. I'll use a white bobbin throughout the whole project. I love the little cap on top of the chick's head, like the little top shell of the egg. All right, so now we've stitched out the outlines for all of our eggs and where all of those placements are going to be. And it may be kind of hard to see, but you can kind of see a little bit right there. And you can see all these little marks that I have in the middle. So I have that marked just to kind of show you where those markings would lay on our hoop if you were not doing it all in the jumbo hoop. So the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to come down here to the very first egg, and that's going to be green. So we want to change our thread color now to the green color. And that is Isacord number 5822. Another little tip for you guys with your Isacord threads. These little stickers that have the numbers on them, these can come off over time. So I always like to just take a marker and just mark the number with a Sharpie right on the inside. So if our little stickers on the top come off, I have it written on the bottom so I know what it is. And I also put my initials on there just because I like to go to retreats, and you know, sometimes those threads can get mixed in with something else. So if it falls away, somebody knows that this one is mine. Okay, so I'm just going to thread my needle. And now we're going to grab the green color. And again, this is just straight out of my kit. I haven't done anything with it. So I'm just going to take it, open that up, and just place a little bit of this right. I just want to make sure my selvage gets out of there, but you're just placing it in your hoop so that it just covers that egg. Let me back this up so you can see my hoop a little bit, what I'm doing here. Oh, hang on. There you go. I think you can see. So I just have it placed in here. Now I'm just going to lightly hold it, and I'm going to go ahead and stitch that tack down line and tack this fabric in place. So now my green fabric is tacked in place, and you can see that right around there. So now I'm going to take my scissors and I'm going to trim around the outside and get rid of all of this extra fabric on the outside so it's no longer in my way. And then I'm ready to change my thread color again to do those decorative stitches on the inside. I'm just going in with my scissors and trimming all that excess away. And you want to make sure that you're nice and close to that stitch line. It's all going to be covered up by a beautiful satin stitch, but you just want to be close so that nothing is poking through. Okay, so there is my egg. It's all trimmed around that outside edge. So now I can go ahead and change my thread color again. And this time I'm going to change to the pink color. And that is number 2155. And now we can go ahead and stitch out those decorative stitches on our green egg. So you can see, let me back this up just a little bit. So you can see this is my fabric that was included in my kit. Down here is just the little piece that I cut out for the egg. So you have plenty to use for your tulips. And so you'll just use a little bit more for your tulips, and then all the rest can be used for the piecing of the blocks. And the piecing of the blocks is all just done with traditional piecing. So you'll just follow the instructions just like you would if you were piecing a quilt, and make your little blocks and everything to complete your project. So the one thing I did not mention yet is this is the wall hanging. This can also be made into a table runner, so instead of it going up and down, it goes horizontal, so it's a little bit narrower, so it can be made for a table runner for your Easter table. So that would be really fun to do it either way, but it's also a really cute little door hanger. You could hang this on your front door, or however you would like to display this, but it's super fun. And not only do you have to do these little designs on this runner, but how cute would it be to take this little chick in the egg and just put it on like a baby onesie or something. Super cute. So you can take these designs and split them up, or you could take the little tulips and put those like on the corner of a dishcloth, a dish towel, or run all three of them across the length of a dish towel. The same thing with these little bunnies. These would be cute to just put on like a little onesie or something too. So all kinds of fun little ideas to take this design and make other projects with it besides what is shown here. Okay, door prizes. We mentioned lots and lots of door prizes. We have lots of those to go through. So let's do another drawing. And the next thing that I have is a 6/4 fat pack. So 6 fat quarters in this pack, and this is the chocolate one. So this is from one of those Wednesday Live weekly 6 fat quarter packs. And let's mix these all up. And the winner of this is Donna Skiba. So congratulations, Donna. We'll set these aside for you. You can pick them up next time you're in the shop. So Celia is saying that, let me just open this up so I can see. She is a little nervous about the triangles. So don't be nervous about the triangles. Just go ahead and follow the instructions, just how it says, and how you press. So just make sure that you are lining up your centers when you put the two halves together. There's tons of videos out there of how to do the little triangles, but it's like half square triangles, and then you're just putting them together. So it's super easy once you get the hang of it. So and next time you're in the shop, Celia, we can help you with that too. Give you a couple little pointers for that. But if you follow the instructions, they're very well written in this pattern, so it's pretty easy to follow along with and do it just how they say. Okay, let's do another door prize. And this is my favorite. This is a Sunday Stroll pillowcase kit, and I love these colors in here. I think these are so cute. And who doesn't need another pillowcase? The winner of this is Elaine Smith. So congratulations, Elaine. We will get you your pillowcase. Ruth is asking, what needle am I using? I am using a, let's see, it's kind of hard to see with the glare. Let's see if I can, it's a Schmetz Gold embroidery needle. It's size 7511. So that's the needle that I'm using. You back over here so you can see what the machine is doing on the project. So while these are stitching out, you could look ahead to your instructions and your embroidery backgrounds, the way everything, the cutting for the wall hanging and for the table runner. And you could cut for your border, for your checkerboards, you need 8 or 6, depending. For the table runner, you need 6. For the wall hanging, you need 8. 2-inch by 21-inch strips. So you could cut some of that stuff out now. But I would only use like from the fold of your fabric. Just use half of it because you need to save the other half for your tulips of your green. And then for your triangles, like she had mentioned, you need 34 for the wall hanging, 30 for the table runner, 4.5-inch squares, and then you just cut them on the diagonal. And then you can lay everything out so that way you have everything placed just the way you want it placed when you piece it all together on your project. So again, for these backgrounds where it says that you need the 6 or the 8 or the 6 2 by 21-inch strips. So I just want to quickly show you on ours. So here's the checkerboard up here, and we did blue and purple. So you need one blue, one purple, one blue, one green for the center, and one green, one purple for the bottom, for below the bunnies. And at the very bottom, it's one pink and one purple. So that's the strips that you need, for one strip for each one. So one strip of purple, one strip of blue, one strip of green, one strip of blue, one strip of green, one strip of purple, one strip of pink, and another strip of purple. Or you could choose any colors that you would like. You don't have to follow these colors. This is your project. You can make it any way you'd like. Okay, so now we're done stitching over here. So now we can go ahead and remove our pink thread, and we're going to switch back to the green. And we're going to do that satin stitch around the outside of our egg. I'm just rethreading my needle with the green. And we'll do that satin stitch. Elaine is asking for the square colors again. Let me just hold this up so you can see it, and then I'll go through it again. I'm just going to back this up a little bit. Okay, so on the top, it's the blue and purple. So you need one strip of blue, one strip of purple to complete this row. So 2 inches by 21. For the second one, it's one strip of blue, one strip of green. For below the bunnies, it's one strip of green, one strip of purple. And for below the tulips, it's one strip of purple, one strip of pink. So then you will just cut those 2 by 21-inch strips. So for example, in this row, you cut a 2-inch blue and a 2-inch purple. Piece those together so you have one 21-inch strip of those two colors together, and then you're going to cut them, and then you just rotate each one. And also as a tip, just as a reminder, just reminding you that I would cut your backgrounds first if you're for your bunnies and for your tulips before you start cutting those strips, just to make sure that you have your backgrounds, enough fabric for your backgrounds cut. Okay, so there is our first egg. Look at how cute that turned out. So now what we're going to do is we are going to go on to the next egg. So we need to change our thread again. And our next egg is going to be our pink egg. So I want to go ahead and switch my thread back to the pink color. And again, this is 2155. And I'm going to grab my pink piece of fabric from my kit. And again, I'm just going to lay this, open it up, lay it so it's covering that pink. I just want to make sure I'm covered and I'm not going into the selvage, so that looks good. And the other thing too is with these fabrics being the grunge, you can kind of place them the way for the colors in the grunge that you want to show up in your egg. Just going to go around and tap this pink fabric in place. When that's finished, I can go ahead and cut all the excess away from the outside. Anne is wanting me to hold up that finished one more time, and I will as soon as I get this trimmed away from the outside. Anne, are you wanting just the finished egg or the whole finished runner? Or wall hanging, I should say. Ours is the wall hanging. Okay. Okay, so there is our finished egg. Here's the pink. I've got it all the way around. So now what we need to do is change our thread color back to the green, and we're going to do our decorative stitches in green on the pink egg. So you get lots of practice threading your machines when you do an embroidery project. Okay, Anne is looking for the finished wall hanging. Let me back this up so you can see the whole thing. Let me turn it just a little bit so you can see the whole thing. So there is the finished one. Does that help? Just a little bit. Move you back over here so you can watch the machine. Oops. Try to position this camera so you guys can see. All right, we have a, let's take another door prize. The next door prize that I have is this Pine Needles little spray, micro mist spray bottle. And the winner of that is Sandy Elfstrom. So congratulations, Sandy. I see that you are on your way to Iowa, so maybe on your way back you can swing by the shop to collect your prizes. I see Ruth said she has to leave. There is not a purple thread, Ruth. There's just a blue one, and the number for that one is 4152. And again, this video is being recorded, so you can come back and watch it again later. So you won't miss out on anything. And it's also good to watch it again, like as you're sewing your project, if you're not sewing right along with me this morning. You can also watch it and then pause it and then watch it again to get to that same spot. So it's good that it's recorded. Is there anybody that is sewing along with me this morning? Ooh, Ellen is making chili while she watches. Today is a good day for chili, I think. I haven't been outside yet, but it looks kind of cold and dreary out there. Okay, while this is finishing stitching, I just want to show you guys what is coming up next month. So, as I mentioned earlier, next month is also sold out, but this is what we are making next month. We are making this sewing notebook coloring cover. So you will get the pattern, and you're also going to get this pack of neon fabric markers. Look at how fun is that. And with this, you can see on the front there's like those needles and those little spools of thread with the flowers, but also there is two other patterns. So there's a total of 3 patterns that you can stitch out. One with the traditional quilt blocks, and one you can see back there with like the dress form in it. It's super cute. So we're going to be making the one that you see here on the cover. And this is the cute little fabric bundle that you're going to get. And this is what it makes. So this one has already been colored up for me, and then you're going to get the little notebook that goes inside of it. So it's you can see the little pockets here. So it's completely lined and everything. So it's super cute. And these fun neon colors to match the neon markers that you get. So if you like to do embroidery projects and you're looking for more classes, always be sure to check out our website, pnqs.net. You can go to the classes, clubs, and events page, and you can see all the classes and clubs that are coming up. So there is lots of them. I see that there's a little link that is posted that Sue is teaching some embroidery classes as well that are coming up. So if you like to do the embroidery classes in person, this is a great way for you to stop in at the shop, see us, and take a class in person. And then you can bring your embroidery machine along and learn all kinds of helpful tips and tricks. So Celia said for next month's project, yes, the pattern is downloaded, so you will get a code in your pattern. And you just follow that link and the instructions on how to download it. So once you download it, it will go into the download folder on your computer, and then you can just open that link up from there and transfer it over onto your USB stick. So that is coming up in April. In May, we are doing this fun OESD or scissor tail stitches freestanding bows. So we're going to teach you how to make these bows, and that is coming up in May. So there's still room in this class to sign up. All right, so now we are done with those decorative stitches on our egg. I'm going to switch you over here so you can see what's happening. So now what we need to do is switch our thread color from the green. We're going to go back to the pink and do the satin outline stitch of our egg. I love all these satin stitches on these eggs. It just looks so pretty. Elaine is asking if there are still kits for this project available. Elaine, this one is all sold out. We don't have any kits left for this one. And I am looking up your question right now. So I don't want to show you the code, but what you will get inside your pattern is a little card that looks like this. And on this little sticker that's down here that says sewing notebook, there's a code on there, and that's the code that you're going to enter. Georgina is asking about kits for next month. So this is what the kit looks like for next month, and this one is also sold out. All right, so now we can change our thread from the pink, and we're going to change it to blue, and the blue color is 4152. I'm just threading my needle with the blue, and then I'm going to grab my blue fabric. And again, I'm just going to open this up. And place that so it's completely covering that egg. And now I can just tack this down with my blue thread. Okay, and now you can see that the blue fabric is all tacked down with the blue thread. It's kind of hard to see because it's blue on blue, but we're going to go ahead and trim that all the way around the outside. And then we are going to trim in between, like the broken egg part. We got to get nice and close in there. Okay, so there's my little chick popping out of the blue egg. So now I'm going to take this to my machine. I need to change my thread color again. I'm going to change it to yellow. And we are going to stitch out those decorative stitches again on the blue egg. All right, now it's stitching out those decorative stitches in yellow. All right, while that is stitching, let's do another door prize. So for this door prize, we have a collection from OESD for the freestanding lace Easter eggs. Look at how cute that is. And there's some more, and it even comes with a little holder for the eggs down below. And the winner of this is Marilyn Sheehan. So congratulations, Marilyn. We will get this one to you. What do you think of your Easter eggs so far? I think they're turning out super cute. There's a few minutes left on this one, so let's do another door prize. The next door prize is going to be for this really cool tea towel. Oops, I got it upside down. Look at how cool that is. It's the United States with all the states in there. I love this tea towel, super fun. So the winner of this one is, let's see if maybe it's one of our friends. I know, Jeannie, isn't it fun to get it finished and all hung up just in time for Easter? Diane Squalis. So congratulations, Diane. You won this really cool tea towel. So we will get that to you. Good question, Elaine. Elaine is asking how we quilted our wall hanging. So let me show you that one more time. So what we did was we quilted it at the shop and we actually put it right on the long arm. And I'll show you the back side. It's got these little swirls in it. We just went right over the top of all of the embroidery and you can't really even tell. It didn't take away from it at all. I just used like a light cream colored thread and it just blends right into everything and it just went right over the top. You can kind of see it there, the close-up on the tulips where it went right over the top, but it doesn't take away from it at all. And there's so much stitching in the eggs that you can't really even see the quilting in the eggs at all either. But you could do an edge-to-edge, if you have some of the edge-to-edge quilting for in your hoop, you can quilt it in your hoop too. All right, and now we're gonna switch over from the yellow thread to the blue and do that satin stitch around the outside of our egg with the blue color, and that is the 4152. And Diane is asking about batting. Yes, we used a 80-20 batting that is between the top and the back. And Deanne said she just joined us, so welcome. And we are making a wall hanging today, or it can also be made into a table runner. It's called Somebody Loves You. This is the pattern. It's kind of got a little bit of a glare there. But it's super cute, and we are working on just the embroidery for the eggs. But you do this exact same process for the bunnies down below and for the tulips on here. And I was just looking at this. You can place them any way you like. We put our eggs on the top, our bunnies in the middle, and our tulips on the bottom. And on the pattern, it shows the tulips on the top, the eggs in the middle, and the bunnies on the bottom. So whichever way you would like to arrange yours, you can do it any way you'd like. It's your project. Okay, let's do another door prize. We have this Bernina scissor organizer. So you maybe have seen these in the shop. So it's got this nice top on it so you can store your scissors in here. And it makes a great addition to your sewing room. And the winner of this is Kathleen Johnson. So congratulations, Kathleen. We will have your scissor organizer at the shop for you. Elaine is asking if Pine Needles does quilting for projects like these. Not yet, but check back with us. We may be doing that in the future, so make sure to check back with us in the next couple months and ask us about that once again. And just the little cap of the egg left to do here in the satin stitch, and then we can do our yellow egg. So Deanne is asking what size hoop can be used for this project. So good question. We went over that earlier in the video, but you can see here that I'm using the jumbo size hoop, the maxi hoop, and the mega hoop will fit all of these eggs in one hooping. If you don't have that large of a hoop to do this, you can still do this project. You can use a smaller hoop because you're able to measure out and do just one egg at a time. And all the measurements are right here. So you don't need the large hoop to do this, although it is helpful for time's sake that you can just get it all done in one hooping. But you can also do it in a smaller hoop and just do one egg at a time. All right, now we can go ahead and switch our thread back to the yellow. And we are going to use our yellow fabric once again. So I'm just going to open that up, lay that in here. So that I'm completely covered, and go ahead and tack that down. Now once again, I'm going to go ahead and just trim all this excess away from the outside of that stitch line. Okay, so there's the yellow all trimmed down. So now we're going to change our thread back to blue, and we are going to do the embroidery stitches, the decorative stitches in blue thread. Okay, let's do some more door prize drawings. How are you guys doing on your project if you're sewing along? Are your eggs coming together? Are you liking how they're turning out with all these really fun decorative stitches on top of the eggs? This project is so cute. I love it. I can't wait to see all of your projects. And if you decide to add an egg onto something else, make sure you post those pictures and show us too, because we all like to see what everybody else is doing. Okay, so let's do some more drawings for a couple more door prizes that we have. I have 2 left. I have a charm pack from Basic Grade called Boudoir. So this is going to, let me dig deep in my little Easter bucket here. Rhonda McManion. So you get the charm pack, Rhonda. So congratulations. We will get that to you. And the next door prize I have is for some OESD, an OESD collection called the Felt Finger Puppets. Look at how cute those are. And there they are on the back. Super cute. I love all these fun little decorative stitches that you can do in embroidery. Marie is asking if I picked out this pattern. I did not pick out this pattern. This pattern is one that Marcia had picked out because she said that she had done it quite a few years ago and it was time to bring it back. So the winner of the finger puppets, the OESD finger puppets, is Susan Garwinski. So I hope I didn't totally mispronounce your last name, but Susan, this is for you, so we will get the finger puppet CD to you. So Celia is asking if I were doing an egg or something on a placemat or a napkin, what stabilizer would I use? You could use the same stabilizer. You can use the Stable Stick stabilizer. That would be just fine. Then you would just tear it, you know, tear all the excess away because it is that paper tearaway stabilizer. So I would just use the same thing. So Celia's asking, would I need the shape flex for a napkin / placemat? If you're going to do it on a placemat and it's going to be quilted, then I would definitely put the shape flex on there. But if you're going to do it just on a napkin, like down in the corner, I would not do the shape flex. I would maybe float an extra piece of stabilizer underneath my hoop, like Ultra Clean and Tear or something, just to give the stitches that stability. But anytime you're putting anything in something that's going to be quilted, I would definitely put the shape flex on the back. Okay, so now we can change our thread back to the yellow and do that satin outline stitch around the yellow egg. Okay, and I seen that somebody was asking, Ellen was there, Ellen just asked it too, about the bunny tails, the wash away bobbin thread. So, on the bunny tails, and I'll just show you here, there is some satin stitching in here. I just left ours plain. I didn't do anything with it just for like laundry reasons or whatever, but it would be cute to do that. So what you can do is when you do this, just make sure if you are using wash away bobbin thread, make sure you remember that you put wash away bobbin thread in your machine just for that step on the tail. Because if you put wash away bobbin thread in and you do your whole project in wash away bobbin thread, when you wash this, all of your embroidery is going to come out. Your whole project is going to come apart. So if you use wash away bobbin thread just for the bunny tails, make sure you make a note of that. And the other thing that you can do is put in a different color, a high contrast color thread in your bobbin when you do the bunny tails. That way it's easy for you to see when you pick that bobbin thread out on the back. That's going to create the loops that are going to make these little tails on your bunnies be furry. So again, I did not do that on mine because I thought it looks cute without it. But if you want to make them furry, you can do that with either the high contrast bobbin thread, so it's easy to see to pull it out, or the wash away bobbin thread. You can use it, but just make sure you use it for only this step because you don't want it to wash out your whole project. Yes, and if you do the quilting over the fluffy tails and you're just doing an edge to edge over the whole thing, I would either put a wash away cover over the top just to keep my hopping foot for my quilting machine from getting hung up in those little loops, or make sure that you're using a cupped foot for your quilting machine. So something like if you stop in and look at the long arm that we have on the floor at the shop, we have that clear cupped foot. So these loops are not big enough to get over the top of that cupped foot. So it's just gonna go over the top of that. So those are your options for doing the fluffy bunny tails. So I hope that that helps if you had any confusion on how to do it or how the process goes. But once you get that completed, you just flip it to the back side, pull out that high contrast thread or spritz it with water to wash away bobbin thread, and you're able to pull those stitches up to make those tails fluffy. So I would do the bunnies absolutely last, just to be sure that you don't forget about that wash away bobbin thread, because I don't want to be responsible for somebody's whole project falling apart because they used the wash away bobbin thread. We're just about done. Okay, so now we got the little checkered flag on our screen, so we're all done. So we can go ahead and take our hoop off of the machine, and we can take our project out of the hoop. The color that was used for the decorative stitches on the yellow egg is our blue, and that is 4152. Okay, so we took our project out of the hoop. Now we can just go ahead and tear this away. And Celia, this is why I said that I would just use the same thing if I was doing it on a napkin or anything else. Let me show you how clean this tears away from the back. So you can see how clean it tears away from the back. So that's why I would just use that same sticky tear away. Okay, so here's our project. It's all done out of the hoop. So now the next thing that we need to do is we need to go ahead and trim this down so that it fits into our either our runner or our wall hanging, whichever one you want. So I'm going to bring you over here to my little cutting mat. And I just need to find in my instructions where it says the size that we are going to be cutting it down to. Six and a half by 15 and a half. So 6.5. And the way I'm going to do this is I still have my blue line that's marked through the center. So I'm just going to measure 3 1/4 inches off that center line to the top and 3 1/4 inches from that center line to the bottom. And I'm just being careful because this ruler is not one that I normally use. So just making sure I have all my marks right. Okay, and now I need to measure 15.5 off of the center. So 15.5. So 7 3/4 and 7 3/4. Now I'm grabbing a bigger ruler so I can just mark this. Okay, so there is my little block and it's all trimmed down and ready to go and be put into my project. So now I just need to do the same thing that I did for the eggs, for the tulips, and for the bunnies, and then I can complete all the piecing that goes around it, do my layout, sew it all together, quilt and bind it, and it will be all done for Easter. So that is our project for today. Let me bring you back over here. So I hope you guys had fun sewing along with me this morning. This was a super fun and cute little project, and it goes together fairly quickly. So if you have any questions, again, you can put them in the comments and I will watch for those, and any questions that I may have missed, I'll go back through and answer those. But again, I hope that you are able to join me next month. Again, that one is sold out, but you can still watch. But make sure that you sign up for our bows in May, because that class has not sold out yet. It will be a fun one as well. We're going to do lots of door prizes again like we always do. So again, make sure you check us out. Either visit us here at the shop or check us out on our YouTube channel, and make sure you watch Facebook and our weekly emails that come out now on Saturday mornings for any of the fun things that are coming up in the shop. So just so that you stay aware of everything. But I hope you guys have fun today. I had a lot of fun showing you how this project goes together, and I will see you next month.